Premier League players have been voting for their PFA Player of the Year, and it looks like, guys, it's a bit of a two-horse race between Mo Salah and Kevin De Bruyne. So we thought we'd get your thoughts on who you'd vote for. Now, Dean, I know that you're going Mo Salah. Robbie, you're Kevin De Bruyne. But JJ, you've thrown in a bit of a curveball for us, and you're on the fence. You've kind of gone back and forth.
Yeah, it's not a curveball. It's just that I'm struggling because obviously, you know, from a midfielder's point of view, you know, I can only just love the artistry, the creative element to De Bruyne and what he's brought to the table this season. But I'm struggling to ignore, obviously, the fact that it's Salah's first season and what's he scored? 30-odd goals.
28 goals in the Premier League, yeah.
I'm the fence sitter today, and I'm going to let these two scratch
Dean,
out.
Let's start with Mo then. Can you ever recall a player coming to the Premier League and hitting the ground running as well as he's done?
No, and he's not gone through a little bad patch either. He seems to score every game. And considering he's got 28 goals and he's playing on the right, he's not even playing up the middle. So the only crosses he gets on the end of is coming from the other side. He's not getting them from both sides. So I just think he's just made an unbelievable impact. But there's still a lot of games left. There's some big games coming up.
Yep.
De Bruyne has done brilliant. I mean, it's like that for me.
In terms of Salah, though, he's scored on his own more goals than 4 Premier League teams have done all together this season. One of those teams is 7th place Burnley. It's quite incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's scoring headers, tap-ins, he's bending them in the top corner, he's scoring in the big games, he's scoring in games where there's nothing on the game and it's 0-0, 10 minutes to go. He seems to get on the end of things, he follows in. Also, he runs without the ball, in behind defences, which causes space for other players to get on the ball. Because
of all of that, do you think he can actually beat that Premier League all-time record, Shearer and Cole's 34 goals in one season?
I think he can. I wouldn't be surprised if he started next season and he didn't score for a while. I think he's just having one of them freak purple patches. He's obviously a good player.
Yeah.
And he's playing with a lot of confidence. But I'd like to see them both in the same team, De Bruyne and Salah. That would be good.
Be a thing. Well, Robbie, make your case for Kevin then.
Well, I'm with JJ a little bit. I think it could go either way. I think that as the votes were in last week, I think, or the week before, I think Mo Salah had the momentum because he's got the 4 goals and City didn't have a game. So Mo Salah, when we've all sat there in the canteen or wherever voting, and I think because City did have a game and Mo Salah scored 4, he would have been on the people's thoughts. So I think Mo Salah will probably win it, but I would go for Kevin De Bruyne, you know, because, as Jermaine says, his angle of passing, you know, he's the best player in the best team. And I know it's an individual award, but hypothetically, City could win 3 trophies. City could win the Champions League, they've won the Premier League nearly, and the League Cup. So you could have the best player in the best team winning 3 trophies, the Champions League, and not winning the domestic player of the season, which I find quite hard. You know, and Dina talking about Mo Salah scoring goals there, you know, but Kevin De Bruyne, 10 of his goals or assists have led to points for his side, where Salah's only got 6 goals, which have led to points for his side. So, and De Bruyne has created more chances, nearly double the amount of chances for the side.
96 chances he's created this
season. Saying that, Dino, listen, Salah's been magnificent, 28 goals.
The hardest thing to do on a football pitch is to score goals, as you found out in your career.
Jermaine, perhaps this helps you make your decision if you're kind of on the fence with both of them, you can't quite decide.
Yeah.
Who would be missed more out of their team?
Salah. I just think he would be. Look, I think the way Salah has took the reins from Coutinho having left, of that kind of that focal point, it's almost helped him in a way. You know, and kind of instead of sharing the load as a player. I had a bit of a situation at Spurs when we had Bale, and it was like, right, get the ball to Bale, get the ball to him. And, you know, he might have a few dribbles, lose a couple of balls or whatever. You give it him back, give it him again, make him create. And when you've got those star qualities in your side, you feed them. And I think when Coutinho was there, maybe it was kind of going to 1 or 2, whereas now it's all Salah. So I think, I personally think Liverpool would miss Salah more than...
I think the way they play suits him as well.
Well, if you think about who could come in as well for City, you know, Gundogan's done a great job when Silva's been out. You know, Sane's there. They've got a number of players that have really kind of stood up to the test. I just think Salah would be the one.
Yeah, we thought we'd give you guys a vote as well. So we put a poll out on our Twitter page, BT Sports Score. You can still vote on this now. Who should be crowned the player of the season? Mo Salah is winning this by quite some way.
He's pausing on.
73% of the vote for Salah, 27 for
But they're pausing
KDB.
nonsense because they could be all Liverpool fans.
A lot of Liverpool fans on Twitter.
So,
really.
and listen, when I...
Robbie!
Oh, wow! Is that Mo Salah?
It was only going to be Robbie. It was only going to be Robbie.
It's my mum. My mum always...
It's
It's my mum. She always phones me before I do a show and says, good luck, son.
That's not
How
gonna
you
get you out
doing?
of it.
Radio later.
Funny, I didn't know your mum's name was Troy.
2 weeks' wages.
It's not. Mum. Mum.
So let's get back to the tweets from you guys as well. Patrick says De Bruyne is so much more than goals and assists on a stat line. Richard Sock says, obviously for me it's Salah by a country mile now. He's up there with Messi and Ronaldo this season. He might not be next season, but this year definitely. Last night, Ian Rush was given a Legend Award in London.
Did you give it him, Dino?
He said, the Mayor of London gave it to him actually, and he said last night that when he watched him play in that Watford game when he got the 4 goals and the assist, he said in that game he was as good as Messi and Ronaldo. Do you agree?
Being honest, no. I think them two are just not normal. Salah's a normal, like us. We were normal footballers. Them two do things... Well, they get 50 goals a season each every year, 10 years.
I think it's fair to say he's getting into another bracket of players like Eden Hazard, who kind of are chomping away at that bracket of getting into stardom. But, I mean, it always annoys me when people try and associate players with Messi and Ronaldo, because they are freaks, as Dino said. They are just sensational players. But in terms of that next layer of players, you know, he's getting in amongst it, and it won't be long before, you know, a few of those clubs...
The thing is with them two, every week managers set up the team to stop them doing what they do, and they still manage to get round it.
Yeah.
So Salah's got to come to that point where they're going to man-mark him.
But he's done that this year, in fairness.
Yeah, but not every year. You know, like...
No, but I'm saying, just specifically to talk about this year, you can't tell me that managers have not looked at Liverpool and gone, listen, he's the main threat, we need to stop him. And he's still managed to
Ashley Young.
Well, that there tells you how well he's done. The fact that you can name the one player that managed to stop him tells you how well he's done.
He's done brilliantly.
Now, you guys all played in the Premier League, so you've all taken part in this voting process, which must be quite strange in the middle of a season having to vote for a player of another team that you're going to play against or have played against. Now, JJ won the Young Player of the Year when you were playing, Robbie. Did you vote for him?
I can't remember. I can't remember. But the vote's too early as well. The vote's too early. It's ridiculous. Because Liverpool play Man City now in the Champions League quarter-final. And if De Bruyne is unbelievable and Salah's quiet, that could change people's voting. So the vote's far too early. And they voted in March.
And the crunch games, like you said, the crunch games, and the top players producing the big games.
Like Sergio Aguero's never been in the PFA Team of the Year, which is like, I can't believe that. Ridiculous. Why is that?
JJ, did you ever vote for Sav?
No, don't be silly, Jules. You have to be a decent player to get
No, not even on Strictly?
I definitely vote for him.
Sav was in the best-looking team.
Thanks, Dino.
What? Did you have that? There was a best-looking team.
There was an ugly team. He was in that one as well.
Oh, goodness me. Keep your tweets coming in. Daniel Hughes says Salah, as a winger, 28 goals, can beat the Premier League record on his first season. And look at the players that played in the Premier League at the time when they won. Sean Wood, on amount of goals scored and all-round skill, it has to be Salah for me. And I'm a United fan, so it hurts saying that. Matt James says De Bruyne for me. Football's not just about the goals. He's controlled the games for by far the best team in the Premier League. And Damian Brown, Salah's been very consistent all season. Player of the year for me, hands down.
If I had a choice now, next season, and this is just me speaking, these two might probably disagree. If I could pick a starting 3, you know, or if I could pick between Sane and Salah, I'd have Sane. I would. I just think he is unbelievable. I think he should be young player. If he qualifies, I'm not sure.
He does, yeah.
He qualifies.
Does, yeah.
I think Sane's got to be young player of the season.
Yeah.
Well, Danny Simpson actually put his votes up, didn't he? And he actually voted for Leroy Sané as his young player
Would you have
of the year.
Hazard?
What?
And
You have
his
Hazard before it.
player was Mo Salah.
My fronts before who?
You've got Hazard, Sane,
Hazard
and Salah. Who would you have?
I'd have Willian at the minute instead of Hazard. I think Willian's been magnificent.
I think...
He's in form at the moment.
Come on,
isn't he?
JJ.
I want to know who your three were.
Me three up front. Who would I have next season? Start next season. I'd have Sane, definitely. Yeah. I'd have Harry. I'd have Harry Kane.
Yeah, and Salah would be in there
instead of Aguero. That's a close one.
You'd have to have Harry Kane.
Aguero or Kane.
So your big point was the fact that you'd have Sane over Salah.
Yeah, next year. If I had to pick straight,
He scored again.
Has he just scored?
I'll tell you what, Jules. I'd have Salah in my starting next year.
He's got to win Player of the Year now.
I'll tell you what, he's brilliant.
Over Crystal Palace, and that is his 29th goal in the Premier League this season. It really is quite incredible.